Hi, good afternoon students and welcome to bio classes. In the previous class we focused on human respiratory system, that is the breathing mechanism, inspiration and expiration. Today let me continue the same session, that is how those respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, how those respiratory gases can be transported from one place to another place inside the body, that is the transportation of respiratory gases. So today look at those concepts. And before going to the class, yesterday I had given 3 questions. So the first question was how actually these respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, how those are exchanged, how those are absorbed by our body. So that was my first question, what actual process is occurring over there. And the second question, what happens to that oxygen? So of course the body is getting oxygen, what happens to that oxygen? So what is its next work? That was my second question. And my third question was, who is responsible for absorption of oxygen in the blood? Of course blood will take the oxygen, who is responsible for that? So 3 questions I had asked, and many students have answered very beautifully, excellently, and again new students are answering more, so I hope that is a good development. So for mentioning few students who has given a nearer answer, accurate answer, for mentioning few students, because the list is bigger one, just I have written the name. Vijay, Pooja, Bhavana, Tejashwini, Bhagya, Sanjana, Basu, Spurti, Saujanya, Arpita, Abhishek, Vishwanath, Megha, Sahana and many more. These students have given nearly accurate answers. So for those 3 questions, if you want to answer, means the first one, the diffusion process is responsible for exchange of respiratory gases. Body will give off carbon dioxide and absorbing oxygen. Actually that process occurring in the alveoli portion. That is, yesterday I told you, alveoli means these are the small sac-like structures. From the alveoli, these 2 respiratory gases are exchanged by the diffusion process. That is the one thing. Alright. Second thing, what I asked is, what happens to that oxygen? Why the body is taking oxygen? What is the fate of the oxygen? So here the fate of oxygen is that absorbed oxygen by the blood, it is transported and given to all the tissues, all the cells of the body. In the cells, mitochondria will use that oxygen to break the glucose and producing ATP molecules, and because of that reason mitochondria is considered to be the powerhouse of the cell. Why it is the powerhouse of the cell? Means because it producing the energy ATP molecules by the breaking of glucose molecules. To break the glucose molecule, mitochondria needs oxygen. So that oxygen is transported from the blood to all the body parts. And third thing, who is responsible for absorbing that oxygen in the blood? As already we know, there is one particular pigment which is giving red color to the blood, that is a hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is having more affinity for absorption of oxygen, just like a magnet and iron. If you keep a magnet and iron very near together, means suddenly they will attract each other and they will come in contact with each other, they get attached suddenly. In the same way, when the hemoglobin is near to the oxygen molecule, it is having more affinity. So hemoglobin will bind that oxygen and carry to all other body parts. So today let us see how that oxygen and carbon dioxide get transported in the body. Right? And one more thing, keep one thing in your mind. Today's video. So today's video concept is a transportation of respiratory gases. Yesterday's video. So yesterday's video is human respiratory system, and one more video. So that is the seed germination. Seed germination related to botany portion, and these 2 classes related to geology portions. Regarding these 3 video classes, seed germination, human respiratory system, and today's transportation of respiratory gases. Regarding these 3 classes, tomorrow let's have an examination, small examination. I think I hope you can write the examination very well. So why? Because already you are giving more accurate answers, near answers. Today let's conduct one small examination regarding these 3 concepts. right? After the completion of the class, revise those previous classes videos also, and listen this class very carefully, and tomorrow you can write the examination, right? Thank you. So here let's come to our class. Transportation of respiratory gases. How the respiratory gases get transported inside the body, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? So thing is, as already we know, the atmospheric air, I'm not saying oxygen, it is a mixture of gases. The atmospheric air which is having the oxygen majorly, that atmospheric air comes to the nostril, nostril to the nasal cavity, nasal cavity to the pharynx, pharynx to the larynx, larynx to the trachea, trachea to the bronchi, bronchi to the bronchiole, bronchiole to the alveolar duct, alveolar duct finally to the alveolus, small sac like structure. Finally the oxygen, let me consider now oxygen. Finally oxygen came to that alveoli. That alveoli gets surrounded by the blood vessels. Now inside blood already carbon dioxide is there. Now alveoli is majorly having oxygen, blood vessel is majorly having the carbon dioxide, both the gases get exchanged. After the exchange, gases are transported inside the body. This is the thing. So how those gases get transported? Before going to that one, let me recall the same concept. Imagine this is the alveoli, small sac, and this is our blood vessel. Yes, just imagine this alveoli, now it has taken the air during respiration, and that air majorly let us consider oxygen. All the remaining gases are there, but the thing is oxygen is absorbed in our body. Why? Because individual gases will be having their own pressures. We will call it as a partial pressure of gases. Let me consider, imagine here. Yes, imagine we are having one container, and this container is having mixture of different gases, right? So there are mixture of gases just like air. So imagine that box is having some amount of air, that means different gases. So imagine black color gas molecules are oxygen molecules, blue color gas molecules are carbon dioxide molecules, and this red color molecules are considered to be the hydrogen or nitrogen gas molecules. And since because of gas molecules are having that volatile nature, since those are moving very rapidly, those gas molecules are continuously bombarding with the surface of this container. That means constantly they are going to collide with the surface of the container. That means that they are applying the pressure. So the pressure is exerted on the box by these gas molecules. But the thing is, the exerted pressure is depending on the concentration of the gas present inside the container. If oxygen gas molecules are more compared to other gas molecules, means the pressure exhibited by that gas molecules on this container is more. That means I can call it as a PO2, partial pressure of oxygen. Then the pressure exhibited by the carbon dioxide, PCO2, partial pressure exhibited by carbon dioxide. So here whenever partial pressure is more, at the time the diffusion process occurs from higher concentration to lower concentration. Or say for example, partial pressure of oxygen is more in the alveolus, less in the blood. Then automatically from higher pressure to lower pressure, oxygen is moving. Imagine that thing here. So this is the alveoli and this is the surrounding blood vessel. Now air is entered here. So air means, let me consider oxygen is there in the alveolus, and blood also having some amount of oxygen. Here also some amount of oxygen is there, but thing is oxygen present in the alveolus is more. More oxygen means concentration here is more. Whenever oxygen concentration is more, automatically partial pressure of oxygen is more. Where more means in alveolus. In alveolus oxygen concentration more, but in the blood oxygen concentration is less. Automatically oxygen moves from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is the thing. And now what about the next gas? That is carbon dioxide. Now blood is having a carbon dioxide gas, and in the same way alveolus is also having carbon dioxide. When we are taken air containing carbon dioxide automatically. So alveolus also having carbon dioxide, but the thing is inside blood concentration of carbon dioxide is more if that blood is coming from all body parts towards the lung. It's carbon dioxide concentration more. Now inside blood carbon dioxide is more and in the alveolus carbon dioxide is less. Automatically carbon dioxide move from higher pressure to lower pressure, or higher concentration to lower concentration. Now the both the gases are exchanged, and this whole process occurs by diffusion process. So here the important thing is diffusion. And one more thing, the wall of alveolus and the wall of blood vessel both are made up of simple epithelial tissue. So both are made up of single layer of epithelial tissue, squamosal epithelial tissue. Both the layers get attached. In between there is one thin basement membrane. One side alveolus wall, one side blood vessel wall, and both are attached. In between there is a basement membrane. All the three membranes together form a thin layer. That layer we will call it as a respiratory membrane. Yes. So through the respiratory membrane this diffusion process occurs here. Now the gases get exchanged, oxygen and carbon dioxide. But thing is, of course gases are exchanged. Now blood is having oxygen. It has to take oxygen, or it has to supply oxygen to all the body parts. So that is the thing. That is the next fate of oxygen. But how oxygen get transported here? So the question will be arised. So here on bigger question is arised. So if we consider oxygen, oxygen is gas, right? And who is transporting oxygen? Blood. Blood is liquid. See here, both states are different. Transporting oxygen is gaseous form, and who is carrier here? Blood is the carrier. Blood is present in liquid state. How the gas can dissolve in the liquid very easily? So it is not so easy. It is not so possible. So imagine if you are keeping a glass of water, water means liquid. So surrounding the glass of water there is a lot of air, oxygen. That oxygen, that air cannot dissolve in the water. Why? Because both are having the different state, different pressures. But here also the same thing, gas should be dissolved in the liquid. That is very tough. Whenever gas is dissolved in the blood, then only blood will carry the oxygen from lungs to all the body parts. So here let me mark 3 stations. First station, second station, and third station. So let me say the central station is heart, right? And this station is lung, and this station is all other body parts except lung, all other body parts let me consider, and even lungs also. So heart, from the lungs blood is coming towards the heart. From the lungs blood is coming towards the heart. That blood is having oxygen. Now heart will pump that oxygen containing blood to all the body parts to use that oxygen. Now imagine all the tissues. Now Tissues means cells. Cells will use the oxygen, and what gas they are going to release? Carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide containing blood once again comes to the heart. So this blood is having carbon dioxide, right? Now carbon dioxide containing blood, it is pumped to lungs. So it goes back to the lungs. Now it is having what gas? It is having carbon dioxide, right? Yes, this total circulation we will call it as a double circulation, as already you know. So this double circulation occurs in 3 different stages. That means I will call it as the compartments. So how the blood is flowing along with the gases. So during this flow, if we consider how the gases are transported, in what form. So let me consider first one. Transportation of oxygen. Let me consider first one. How the oxygen get transported here? Oxygen is transported in the blood in 2 forms. One is dissolved form, in the form of dissolved oxygen, and the second one is in the form of oxyhemoglobin. So these are the 2 forms. Oxygen is transported first in the form of dissolved oxygen, dissolved form. Second one is as oxyhemoglobin, right? So as already told you, gas dissolving in water or dissolving in blood here, it is very tough, but to some extent it is possible. Because of that reason, imagine this is the blood vessel, right? Inside the blood vessel, these are the RBC cells, red blood cells, and except RBC cells, here liquid content is present inside the blood vessel, and this liquid content we will call it as a plasma, right? This is the plasma and this is the RBC cell. Now when oxygen enters, about 4% of oxygen, it is dissolved in the plasma of blood. Plasma means watery content of the blood. So oxygen is dissolved there, 4%, and that 4% dissolved oxygen is transported through the blood vessel to all the body parts. And maximum amount of oxygen, it is carried, that is a 96% of oxygen, it is carried by the RBC cell. RBC cell will carry. As already we know, inside the RBC cell there is one major pigment. Inside RBC cell, the major pigment, and the pigment name is HB, hemoglobin. So let me write here. Okay, let me draw here only. If this is the hemoglobin molecule, means hemoglobin, as already the name itself suggests, hemoglobin. So in hemoglobin, heme means iron, right? And globin is the protein content. That means hemoglobin, it is a protein content actually, and it is having the iron. Hematite ore. Hematite means iron ore. Heme means iron. So hemoglobin molecule is made up of iron. One hemoglobin molecule is having 4 iron. One hemoglobin molecule is made up of 4 iron, and one iron molecule, one iron atom, it is having the affinity for 1 oxygen molecule. What I am telling is, one iron atom present in the hemoglobin molecule, it can absorb 1 oxygen molecule. Such kind of 4 iron atoms are present in 1 hemoglobin. That means 1 hemoglobin can receive 4 oxygen molecules. 1, 2, 3, 4. One hemoglobin can receive 4 oxygen molecule. Such kind of many hemoglobin molecules are present in one RBC cell. Such kind of millions together RBC cells are flowing. That means maximum number of oxygen molecules absorbed by the hemoglobin. So if you want to give one calculation, means 100 ml of blood, it can carry 20 ml of oxygen. 100 ml of blood, it can carry 20 ml of oxygen. So here majorly hemoglobin, right? So how it is transporting means, if you want to write that one means, okay, 1 minute. This is a hemoglobin, right? It combines with oxygen, and after combining it becomes HbO2, oxyhemoglobin. Oxygen plus hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin, and that in that form it is transported from one place to another place. Say for example, here in the lungs, oxyhemoglobin is formed near the lungs and transported to the heart, from the heart given to other tissues. In the tissue, what is there here? Carbon dioxide is major. So when carbon dioxide concentration is more, at that time hemoglobin and oxygen both are separated, that is in the tissue. Because of that reason, formation and breaking both occurs, and because of that reason we have given this symbol, reversible reactions. So in this form, maximum amount of oxygen is transported from lungs to tissues, up to tissues. And how the second gas, that is the transportation of carbon dioxide. How the transportation of carbon dioxide occurs in the blood? As usual, see here, who is having the carbon dioxide? Who has generated that one? Tissues. Now tissues having more amount of carbon dioxide, blood comes to the tissue, carbon dioxide is given to the blood. Inside the blood, how the carbon dioxide is entering, in what forms, and that blood will carry the carbon dioxide. From here, the carbon dioxide containing blood goes to the heart. From the heart, it goes to the lungs. From the lungs, it will come outside. So this is the thing. And how actually that carbon dioxide is transported? The carbon dioxide is transported in 3 different forms. The first form is carbonic acid. It is transported in the form of carbonic acid. So carbonic acid means here about 10% of carbon dioxide. What this content is? Plasma. Plasma means it is having water. When carbon dioxide combines with water, it forms an acid, carbonic acid. So here is the reaction. Carbon dioxide combines with the water of plasma, but it is not a major process. As already I told you, dissolving of gas into the liquid, it is very tough. Even though it occurs means very less quantity. So here carbon dioxide combines with water, where this water is present in the plasma. So it forms H2CO3, carbonic acid. This carbonic acid, in this form, 10% of carbon dioxide is transported from one place to another place, from tissue to lungs, up to lungs. And secondly, carbon dioxide, it is transported in the form of carbaminohemoglobin. So this is the major thing. And carbaminohemoglobin, in this form, 20% of carbon dioxide is transported. In what form? Carbaminohemoglobin. So already I have told you, hemoglobin, it is having, just like iron, it is having amino group NH2. So let me write that one as HbNH2. amino group in the hemoglobin. That is a functional group in the hemoglobin. Along with the amino group of hemoglobin, carbon dioxide gas molecules are combining. So that means some amount of carbon dioxide enters into blood. In the blood it combines with, it enters inside the RBC. Inside the RBC there is a hemoglobin. It combines with the hemoglobin. That means carbon dioxide combines here. And after the combining here, it forms HbNHCOOH. This is carbaminohemoglobin. In this way, 20% of carbon dioxide is transported. 10%, 20%, remaining 70%. So 70%, a majority of carbon dioxide, it is transported in the form of bicarbonates. It is transported in the form of bicarbonates. So as it is, carbon dioxide which is there here, it enters into the blood. In the blood, 10% in the plasma, remaining 90% enters into the RBC cell. There in the 90%, 20% combines with hemoglobin. Inside RBC only, remaining 70%, it forms H2CO3 again. What is that H2CO3? Carbonic acid. In RBC cell also water is there. So inside the RBC cell water, carbon dioxide combines to form carbonic acid. Okay, let me write what it is going to form. Carbonic acid, which is formed in the RBC cell, not in the plasma. 70%. That carbonic acid, suddenly it will dissolve. Why? Because carbonic acid is unstable in the RBC condition, inside RBC. So suddenly it will dissociate into HCO3 minus and H plus. Proton is released and it forms bicarbonate ion. This is the bicarbonate ion, right? This bicarbonate ion, which is formed in the RBC cell, it comes into plasma once again. It comes to the plasma. What this plasma contains? This plasma contains water. Along with that one, plasma is having two major salt materials. One is a sodium, another one is potassium. Now, this bicarbonate ion combines with sodium as well as a potassium ion to form sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate. That means bicarbonates are formed. Through the bicarbonates, the 70% of major quantity of carbon dioxide is transported. From where to where? From tissues to lungs. In the lungs, the process is reverse. That's why I given the reverse symbols here. That means again the gases are dissociated and the same process get continued here. This is how the respiratory gases get transported inside the body through the blood from one place to another place. Yes, I think you have got the concept very well. Tomorrow on this class, the previous class and the seed germination concept, on these three videos, so you are going to get one examination, right? So tomorrow do well and revise those classes also. Thank you.